Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. We're back, and I hope that you're back. And I know you're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, folks. Welcome to another thrill-packed episode of the Yin and the Yang. And I am your host, known as the Yin, the former two-time USW heavyweight champion of the world and martial artist. Yes, I am the Anthony Chu that they speak of, a.k.a. Chuzilla, the ultimate thriller. All muscle, no filler, baby. And on today's episode, we're going to answer fan mail. We're going to give a thumbs up and a thumbs down to a new victim of Chewed Out that's on tap, folks. Plus, we're going to give you an update on the I Should Have Quit While My Monkey Was Still Funky tour. And my blithering co-host starts an inter-podcast networking promotional war. We'll address that and all that and a lot more. And yes, all right, speaking of co-host, to join me on this crusade to smarten up the listeners of the show, the network, and the world, please allow me to give you a proper introduction, buddy. You ready, folks? He is the wheelin' dealin', idea stealing, podcast speaking, on-air deacon, preacher educating, topic debating, ruler, owner, and operator of the More of the Same network. He is Mr. Co-host to you, much too sweet, and the Yang of the show, Larry. I attended New York Comic-Con and you didn't, Mormon.
There was a word, thank you, there was a word that you used before all of that to describe me. Can you repeat that word, please?
Let's see here.
Clueless, was it? Clueless?
Blithering?
Blithering, there you go. Blithering, okay. We will discuss that.
Hey, no. We're going to discuss that today because I'm a little mad at you, all right? I mean, you're my childhood friend. We've been best friends for over 20-something years. I'm a little mad at you this week because you opened your mouth on a cross-promotion. I'm telling you, you instigated an incident, which we'll tell the fans about because, number one, goddammit, it's my show. I'll do what I want to do. It may be under your network, but we're going to address this problem today. Just wanted to let you know. Before you do that, a respectful thing, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm very tired. Very tired.
Really?
My feet are very hurting. Hurting very much.
It seems as though I'm friends with the most interesting man in the world because every fucking week you've got some shit going on. If it's not a wrestling show, it's SummerSlam. If it's not that, you've got New York Comic-Con. You've got all the shit going on. Like, okay, I know, you know, and everybody should know now that you attended New York Comic-Con. Give me the rundown, man. How was it?
It was good. I went for 3 days. Again, my right foot is absolutely killing me because of all the walking I did. Well, I had to, walk from Penn Station to the Jacob Javits Center, walking around the con with a bag, with a suitcase, with stuff. I packed a lot and I brought a lot, but with that being said, it was an awesome con. Great cosplay. Some people really dressed up big time. I've always said there are 3 types of people who cosplay at Comic-Con. There's women who can pull off looking like Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. There are women who can't pull off looking like Wonder Woman or Harley Quinn, but they try. And then there's guys who dress like Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
So, and I saw all 3. Trust me when I saw one woman who dressed as Wonder Woman, an older lady, who pretty much only wore body paint. Like, that was it. Yeah.
Really?
I did run into someone who actually recognized me from Instagram.
What?
And someone who recognized me from the hottest podcast going, the A Show on the More of the Same network, the Retro.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. that I heard this week's past episode. Yes, I do listen to both shows, actually all 4 shows. Yes, I do listen to my own material. You didn't give me you guys didn't give me a plug this week, so nobody's getting ice cream this week once again. I'm pulling this car over. You didn't plug my show. I'm not plugging your show. I don't give a shit if it's the mothership. You're not getting a plug.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this show on my other podcasts.
Well, I'm going to listen to it again, and I'm telling you, you mentioned something on another podcast, all right? You're digging yourself a hole right now, like Tuco did in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But we'll address that later.
We'll get there. But yeah,
no, fine.
Comic-Con,
being the nice guy that I am, if you want to plug it, go ahead.
It's all right. Comic-Con was very fun. Some of the I have to say the 3 best costumes I saw. I mean, besides all the hot Supergirls and Wonder Woman and Harley Quinns, some of these girls I was able to locate on Instagram and tag them in my pictures. So had little conversations with them back and forth, which is very cool.
Okay.
So the 3 best was, one was someone actually showed up dressed and cosplayed as the Jacob Javits Center.
What?
They actually dressed up like the convention hall.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this thing had to be 5 feet wide.
Jesus. You wonder how that person got around anywhere.
Oh, it was so funny. The second great costume or cosplay I saw, did you see Logan?
Yes.
Okay. A father and daughter dressed up as Old Man Logan, and I forgot the girl's name from the movie, and the little girl from the movie. And they looked spot on. This little girl had to have been about 8, maybe 9. She had that scowl on her face, just like the girl had in Logan. So they were very adorable, father and daughter. So they were dressed up like Logan and little girl. And then you had my personal favorite, which I saw last year, but I couldn't get a picture of them. I got a video of them this year. 2 guys were dressed up like 2 of the Joker's henchmen from Batman, 1989's Batman.
Oh, the one with the boombox, right?
Yes, when they're going through the art gallery,
dancing and shit.
Yes,
yeah,
and they're blasting prints.
Ha!
Oh my! It is amazing. It was fantastic. It was so funny. Now those are the ones I like. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There were elaborate costumes, and some of the people, I'm talking men and women, because cosplay is not consent. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into their costumes. I like the more low-key costumes. I like when people cosplay, like, anyone can go get an Iron Man costume, but not too many people dress up like Tony Stark.
Okay. I
So, like,
understand that.
there was a guy walking around like Tony Stark, like Clark Kent, even like Peter Parker, and you can tell it's them. Besides some of the costume designs of those characters, like Tony Stark through his shirt, you can see the arc glowing. You can see the Superman crest through the white button-down shirt that would represent for Clark Kent. Those are the ones I like, the ones that make you think. But don't get me wrong, some of these women dressed like some of the superheroes. Oh, you know what else was a popular getup? And it was weird. And when I say popular, maybe like 10 people, but that's a lot for this costume. Space Jam.
Wow.
And so there was, it was weird. It was a lot of Lola bunnies.
Jesus. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, right? Like, a lot of people, when I see a lot of cosplayers, what I find very interesting is when you see a lot of these cosplayers who look like fucking, oh God, what was it? Like the Ghostbusters, how they make the proton packs.
Friend
That's
of mine.
insanity.
Friend of mine made a proton pack from scratch. I mean, this thing looks like a screen-used proton pack.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's
lights,
nuts, dude.
The lights and everything. Know what I liked? I saw a steampunk Ghostbuster.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty cool to see, kind of like almost like an old-timey proton pack.
That's really cool shit.
Yeah. I also picked up some stuff. I know this is a bit more visual. If you go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/MOHR365, MOHR365, Ha! You didn't stop me on that one. And pretty much all my
No,
social
plug
media.
your personal stuff, I don't care. It's when you plug the other shows that don't give me a plug, I have a fucking problem.
So
Go ahead, plug away. I don't
more
care.
365, MOHR 365. You can follow me. Like I said, I was actually a couple people recognized me from my Instagram, and I picked up. And you can find these pictures that I'm putting up.
Okay.
Here's a cool one. Now, this is a print. This is not an original. It's a copy of a print that was done original. Watercolor.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with Godzilla?
That's Godzilla. You know
Awesome,
what?
dude. That's my man right there. I like Godzilla.
Let me take it out of the thing so you don't get much of the glare. This is just a reprint. So, but the guy did sign it while I was there, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's Godzilla.
Very cool.
Then I got, now this is an original piece. This was...
So fans, for those of you who are wondering what he's showing me that Godzilla piece that was fan art, which is absolutely amazing.
Watercolor. It was a watercolor. Another watercolor. Now this is an original. This is the original. This is not a reprint. If I can get it out of the thing. Here it is. I want to be careful with this one. I like my my kaiju. I love kaiju. If anyone knows what kaiju is, basically Godzilla, giant monster movies. Those are called kaiju. Look at this. This is an original King Kong.
Wow.
Watercolor.
Dude, King Kong looks like he's about to go boxing.
Yeah, I think this is the new one. Kong Skull Island.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I got that. Oh.
Kong in that picture has a good fighting stance, by the way.
Yeah. Kong always did. He always fought good. Then he'd snap your jaw at the end, and then he'd play with it just to make sure. And then this, look at this bad boy. This is metal. This is a metal piece of art.
Oh, the Nintendo original controller.
NES controller.
Interesting.
Done on metal, a sheet of metal. I really like this piece too. So, and then I bought some old video games. I bought some NES games. So all in all, it was cool. I got to say, good time. I can't wait to go back next year. Hopefully next year I'll have press passes.
Press passes.
I got a network. I got a podcast network. Why not?
Exactly. That's cool, man. So I'm glad you had a good weekend. I attended on Saturday night for the very first time. I attended for the first time in my life, a mixed martial arts competition. I actually got to see a real
live?
MMA fight. I was there live.
I thought you were just watching a live show. I didn't know you were there live.
I was not watching a live show. I literally watched a real MMA fight because one of my friends actually competed in the lightweight division.
That's cool.
And he won. It was a second round submission, and it was just unbelievable. I find that a lot of the fans, though, are crazy. Like, they're absolutely nuts. I mean, it's really a total testosterone. It was basically a sausage fest because it was mainly dudes. I mean, some women were there, but it was just basically testosterone at its peak. Mm-hmm. Guys were cursing up a storm. They were like, you got some of these people who actually, it's not a UFC show. Okay, obviously, it's not this massive production, but it was a pretty small production, and it seated about 300, 400 people.
Oh, wow.
And you literally got to see, when you heard, and I got a second row from the cage side.
Oh, wow.
You got to hear somebody punch somebody. You hear like a fucking,
yeah,
that type of thing.
Like what I did to my interns last week.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Except that your interns can fight back. By the way, we'll address that in a second. So I got to see a real MMA fight. It was pretty awesome. Got to actually, my friend originally wanted me to walk him down the ring. Down to the octagon. But what happened was that I think the security, or was it like the state athletic commission, said that if I'm not a certified person on his roster, I'm not allowed to do that, or if I'm not a corner man or whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's cool. I was going to basically give him technical advice. But at the same time, I'm just glad that I got to see him fight. He did a great job. So Hey, Drew. I just want to say how congratulations to you, buddy, on your fight. Really, really appreciate the hospitality of giving me, the tickets and everything like that. He's a young kid. He's only about 25, 26 years old. I actually met him via the 9 to 5.
Oh,
And we just got to be friends that we just kept communicating, and he was just fighting near me. So I was like, oh, wow. It was also like 20 minutes from my house.
there you
So it
go.
wasn't that far away, which is really good.
Very convenient.
But yeah, the audience, I could say in a very different light. I wasn't very thrilled with it. But regardless, Okay, so we got that out of the way, sorry. All right, everybody. So we got some email. And if you guys want to email us any questions, any comments, any concerns, if you want to marry Larry over here, as long as you just send photos and let us know what you do and all that other stuff. He'll be more than glad to accept marriage proposals. But the address that we have here, the email address is very simple. It is Yin and Yang podcast at gmail.com. So YINANDYANGPODCAST at gmail.com.
And I'll post the email in the link as well.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. So, yes, we did get some mail. I didn't get any marriage proposals, damn it, so I'm a little upset. But, yes, so there's a few things that that were put up and that actually somebody emailed me. So this guy, his name is Alex. He's from Brooklyn. He says, I heard your podcast and I don't like it. Your co-host, listen, I shit you not, bro. He says, I'll start from the beginning. Alex from Brooklyn says, I heard your podcast and I don't like it. Your co-host doesn't know anything about martial arts and I don't think you're any good either. Well, Alex, if that's the way you feel, you're entitled to your opinion. We don't live last time I checked, we live in a country called the United States of America, and you're more than welcome to give your opinion, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, well, fuck you. Because quite frankly, listen, you're listening to me. You're listening to us. We're not listening to you, so fuck you. What the fuck do I care? As far as I'm concerned, we're going to keep doing it whether you like it or not, and I probably will promise you that you'll tune in this week to this fourth episode just to see what I'm going to say. So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, thanks for the support, buddy. I appreciate it.
Any criticism is good criticism. Remember that.
Oh, no, I mean, it's good criticism and all that, but look, you're telling me that you don't like it, right? Your co-host doesn't know anything about martial arts. How do you know that? Did you, I'm going to quote Ace Ventura here. Do you know him? Does he call you at home? Do you have a dulcet fin? Jesus Christ. All right? And I don't think you're any good either. Well, you keep thinking that, kid. All
and
right?
who is this? This is my date. And his name? His name is Tom Ace. Oh, Ace. Oh, I screwed it up. Ah, boo.
That's all right, man.
What's
it's all
Ace?
Right.
Tom Ace. Okay.
But you know what, Alex? Again, it's whatever you think. It's whatever you want to say. That's fine by me. It doesn't matter. And it's whatever, man. So I got another one that says here from Patricia. She didn't say where she was from. You guys are funny. Keep it up. And I'm glad my husband and I stumbled upon your show on YouTube. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Patricia. This is why we do what we do. I'm sure Larry will agree with me. And I'm with your husband listening to the show as well. He married well, and I'm sure you married well as well. And no, really, we're glad. We really, really appreciate the feedback. And if there's anything, that I can do, let me know what your husband's name is, and we'll give you a plug. You know what I mean? But thank you very much, Patricia. We have another one. So Chris Haji, how do you pronounce Hoji?
I'll go Hoji.
Okay. Hoji Haji, I'm sorry, buddy, if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It says, keep your head up. I like your show. And my question is, how do I motivate myself? Okay, well, first of all, man, I don't know what I'm keeping my head up for, but Thanks. I've always needed that piece of advice anyway, just to, always look up, never look down, right? Making sure that I always keep it positive, keep it genuine. I like your show. Well, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it, Chris. How do I motivate myself? Okay, so it depends. What are you motivating yourself over? Is it something that do you have a lot of ideas and you just can't capitalize? Is it, like, do you need some type of motivation to complete some type of task? Is it an everyday routine type of thing? Is it personal? Is it professional? You got to give me a little bit more of a specific, more specific detail. Let's put it that way for me to answer your question. I think the one best way, and I will give a piece of advice to everybody to motivate yourself, is look very far down the future. Don't think for the now, think for the future, and basically look at what you have to do to get to that goal, whatever the goal is, and just take it by steps, what I call little success. So when you achieve something small, then you will really feel like, wow, okay, I can do this. Let's conquer the next task. There's an old Chinese saying, this is not literal, but there's an old Chinese saying that to eat an elephant, you cannot eat it in one gulp. You have to eat it bit by bit by bit, and you will accomplish a goal. Same thing with whatever you want to do. You take it bit by bit by bit at a time. Okay, so Chris, send us another email, man. Let us know exactly what it is that you need motivation on, and we're here to help you. Folks, I don't give a shit who you are, what you are, race, creed, background. I don't care if you're fat, you're ugly, you're built, you smell, you don't like this show, like that other jackass. We're here for you, okay? So, we're here to take care of this. So, last one, Stacy. I'm being bullied in school and want to take martial arts. Any advice? Oh, boy. Number one, Stace, I'm sorry you're being bullied in school. It's something that I had to go through when I was a kid. And
I think we all have at one point.
Yeah, I mean, even when I'm, got into high school, which is one of the reasons why I started taking martial arts. Stacy, the first thing is don't be silent about it. Be proactive, and what I mean by that is if you feel something's not right, say something. Because if you don't, you're becoming a part of the problem and not the solution. So speak to your parents, speak to a guidance counselor, maybe speak to your teachers, speak to somebody.
Clergy.
Clergy, yes, if you believe in whatever religious belief you're in, anything. It doesn't matter. Speak to somebody about it. Make people aware of the problem. Don't hide it on yourself. Don't let it bottle up. It'll eat you up inside, As far as if you want to take advice, as far as martial arts is concerned, what art is good, I always say that for women, I always think that Wing Chun is very good because Wing Chun actually is the only system of combat in the world that is created by a female. So it is specifically designed for women, except that it's interesting. When I teach classes, it seems though the girls in the class do better than the guys do, just because there's a lot of fixed positioning. There's a lot of movements with coordination. Men are not too good with multitasking. It sounds odd, but really, for the most part, men are not good at multitasking. Women are. With Wing Chun, you have a lot of simultaneous movement. There's a lot of hand-eye coordination, and I think Wing Chun is excellent. But, you ultimately don't want to use this to fight. That fighting should be your last resort, and I absolutely despise fighting in any manner. Unless it's really you have no other choice but to protect yourself or somebody that you love, like a family member or something like that. I would suggest, Stacey, that you just really, really try your absolute best to air it out. We're here for you. If you ever want to vent, send us an email, whatever it may be. We'll check up on you, okay? And if you need any advice about how to find a good martial arts school, let me know, okay? All right, let us know for sure. Larry, want to add anything to it?
You're the expert on the martial arts. Don't get me wrong, but as far as with bullying and stuff, some people may consider it a rite of passage, in high school and stuff. But you're right, kind of. It's almost like you have to live with it like the MTA. If you see something, say something.
Okay, that's a pretty interesting analogy. If you cannot be silent about it, man, really, really try your best to air it out. Okay, I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through. I've been there too, but this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're successful and you look back, a lot of it. I mean, in a way, I got to kind of thank the bullies that were bullying me when I was in school for what they did, because without that, I wouldn't have found martial arts. My students would not have found me. And, it's just something that so you got to use that negative energy and turn it into positive energy,
Exactly.
All right. So, speaking of fighting, now I got to bring this up, Larry. I got to bring this up. Did you see this YouTube video about my man Jim Cornette and Santino Marella?
I did. Basically, what's happening is it was at a signing, like an autograph signing, right? Somewhere. I don't remember where it was.
I think it was a Kobo in, was it Detroit?
Oh, okay. All right. And apparently Santino and Cornette got together in the hallway. And the background of it is about 12 years ago when Santino Marella...
2005, right?
Just about. When Santino was in developmental, which back then WWE's developmental territory was OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling. And Jim Cornette was in charge of OVW. So apparently down there, Santino Marella was, I guess, cutting a promo or was part of a in-ring segment with the Boogeyman. Boogeyman did something. Santino broke character and started laughing at the Boogeyman. When Santino got to the back, that's when Cornette basically slapped him and I guess told him, like, don't ever do that again. Don't break character in the ring. And the rumor is, since then, Santino always carried a grudge against Cornette. Supposedly, Cornette got fired from OVW because of that incident. And I think this was like the first time the two of them have crossed paths since.
Oh, really?
I don't know who started it. The way Cornette talks, it is big mouth. It seems like maybe he's the one that may have started, but I don't know. I'm not sure. But the video, had them going, pretty much going back and forth at each other.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I understand that Cornette, the video that I saw was 42 seconds, and it basically, he was like, could you please tell him, he told the security, could you please get him away from me? He's harassing me. Mm-hmm. And then something to the degree that Santino was like, you're a fucking asshole. And he's like, well, fuck you. You're a, basically he just cursed him out, and it went back and forth. And I think that Santino called him a racist piece of shit. I don't think Jim Cornette's racist at all, because, I mean, I met him and he was very nice.
He was very cordial, very nice. He was.
Very nice to me. I was not a very big fan of Santino when he was during his time. I thought he was okay. I'm not a fan of his character, his wrestling ability. It's not funny to me. I don't find it, anything interesting. And I mean, Cornette's a legend.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, I just don't, one thing, though, is as far as Cornette's concerned, I'll be honest with you. If they really got into a physical altercation, I mean, keep in mind, Santino's in his 40s and Jim's in his late 50s.
With two bad knees.
Right, with two bad knees,
and
I think.
Santino
right?
knows martial arts of some sort.
Right.
Judo.
He's a judo expert.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, could Jim really have taken him?
I'm going to say no. No offense to him, but he would not have. No.
I love you, man. I love you, Mr. Cornette. I'm a huge fan. You're the reason why this podcast exists, as far as I'm concerned. But I have to be honest with you. If you need me, I'll tell you what. If you need me to show you some moves, and if you need me to gear you up for any fight that you want to do with Santino, let me know.
Let me
know. You know what, folks? I'm calling it out. I'm declaring it right now. As the former two-time USW heavyweight champion of the world, I will train a legendary manager by the name of Jim Cornette to basically beat the ever-loving daylights out of Santino Marella, because I'm not a fan of his and I don't like him. And, an enemy of Jim's is an enemy of mine. I don't like Vince Russo either. By the way, Vince, fuck you. So, I met you actually once, and you were not nice to me at all. So kiss my ass. Cornette is 6 billion times better than you. I will train you, Mr. Cornette. Just let me know when and where, and I will be more than glad to do this for you if you want to,
I'd like to see that.
Actually, so would I. I would like to make a documentary series or something, I'll get Mr. Cornette ready to fuck Santino up. No problem. Definitely. So, are you ready? All right. Yes, I feel it in the air, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel it coming in the air at night. All right. And I've been waiting for this.
Coming in the air tonight.
By the way, who sings that song?
What? Are you really asking that question?
All right. Well, answer the question.
Genesis.
Maybe we asked. Okay. Well, let's keep it that way. All right. Anyway, so now, so I have.
Don't make me send my interns over.
My favorite. Have you dealt with that intern situation?
Well, not really.
Is Huang done now? Like, what the hell's going on over there? Last week, can you explain to the viewers, by the way, excuse me, can you please explain to the listeners why in the hell you blanked out like it was like the movie Wreck at the end, record,
Basically, Wang, that was my fault because I gave him my security clearance code to get into the complex here. So he kind of came back in, caught me from behind, and he decided to try and take out his frustration on yours truly, but I got the upper hand on him. But since then, he's been living in my foyer for some reason. He just refuses. It's almost like the movie The Terminal with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
When he was stuck in the terminal. So he's like, if he goes outside, he'll probably be arrested from immigration. But if he comes back in here, I'll kick his ass. So, I slide him out, bread and cheese every few hours.
Has he apologized to you?
If he did, I don't know, because he doesn't speak English, so I'm not 100% sure.
Telling you, that kid, you're going to piss that kid off, and he's going to try to fight. You know what you need? You need martial art lessons.
You're right. I maybe. Are you going to teach me? You going to teach me for free?
Absolutely, I could do that for you.
For free?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I mean, you're one of my childhood friends. Why would I charge you anything?
Because I would charge you in a heartbeat.
You see, folks, the divisive statements that I have to work with, this hostile work environment. But that's fine. Anyhow, as I digress, let me give a thumbs up to a gentleman named Luis Felipe Alvim, Alvim. So I read about this gentleman on MMAfighting.com. And did you hear about this story?
It depends on what the story is.
Okay. So the guy's in Brazil. This kid Luis Felipe Alvim. And what happened was that he attended an MMA fight over there. And he trains with Felipe somebody. I forgot who it was. He's a lightweight in the UFC. And he just went to go attend the show, and he wants to say hi to his coach, his Muay Thai coach. And he, by the way, he does train in Muay Thai with Felipe. And even though his name is Luis Felipe, just wanted to make sure that nobody's getting confused here.
Mm-hmm.
So he trains Muay Thai, and he's a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
Surprisingly, right? No surprise there. So he went to go just say hi, and he found out that one of the guys in the welterweight division basically got hurt, and he couldn't compete for this title fight in this promotion. So he basically I believe either he got asked or he went and participated himself. And first of all, the promoter was going to say, okay, no problem, blah, blah, blah. But then I think that they have found a replacement or something. And then the replacement last minute chickened out. So now the promoter's really screwed and he had nobody to put up there. So he gets the shot. Now, this guy's never fought an MMA fight in his life.
Really? So he's 0-0-0.
Exactly. And he got in there, and he fucking won the title.
Really? Huh.
You believe that shit?
Oh,
he
man.
Fucking won the title. So, my friends, for all the listeners out there, choose commandos and Mormons, militants, anything in this life can happen. Never, ever doubt your abilities. Never doubt yourself. I mean, obviously, if the guy knew absolutely nothing and went in there and won a fight, I would be even more impressed. But, I mean, come on. The guy's never fought an MMA fight in his life before. He just trains for the hell of it. And he won a title.
There you go.
What more do you want, So congratulations to Luis Felipe Alvim. If you become a fan of this show, I would love to have you on the show as an exclusive. And,
okay.
We give you the thumbs up, too.
There you go.
Definitely give you a spot here on the Yin and the Yang. And I would love to have you on here, man. I'll learn some Portuguese, so, and we'll talk. We'll talk for sure.
Awesome.
All right. Now, my victim of the week.
Ooh, thumbs down. What do we got?
A double thumbs down.
What? Wow.
Yes. This thumbs down goes to Kenyon Martin.
Why does that name sound familiar?
He's an NBA. He was a either current or former NBA basketball player. I think he was in the Denver Nuggets or something, and then he was in the Knicks. And he played with Carmelo Anthony. And this guy basically says something to Jeremy Lin that really bothers me greatly.
Oh, I think I heard this. I think I heard about this.
So basically, Jeremy Lin decided to basically put his hair in dreadlocks. Now, why did he do this? I don't know. It has nothing to do with me. It's beyond my control. I don't care why Jeremy Lin did what he did with his hair. Mm-hmm. It's his hair, damn it, and he could do what he wants with it. Now, what bothers me is what Kenyon Martin said on social media. It was in an interview, and he said basically, is Jeremy Lin aware of the fact that he's not black? Basically, he's Asian. Somebody give him a reality check. Tell him that he's Asian, that he's not black, and basically by him putting his hair in dreadlocks, he wants to be black. And
that's wild.
Jeremy Lin basically did the nice diplomatic thing and basically said pretty much, well, you got Chinese tattoos on your body, so, like it's kind of like what he calls like a socialized integration. Basically, in other words, it's like a cultural exchange of knowledge or of cultural differences and making them into similarities, whatever the fuck that thing is called. Listen, the bottom line of this is quite simple, okay? First of all, Kenyon Martin, fuck you. I used to be a fan of yours, and now I'm not a fan of yours, just like my boy here, Larry, doesn't like fucking Hurricane Helms. Now, you want to make some headlines? Here's some headlines, pal. How about me and Larry take you and Hurricane Helms on in a fucking fight? That'll make a fucking nice headline and all that, right? Kenyon Martin, what bothers me is that basically you're saying on how, he wants to be black. Well, the last time I checked, Uriah Faber, Misha Tate, Michelle Waterson, and a whole other host of mixed martial artists put their hair in dreadlocks or in braids when they go out into the octagon to fight.
I haven't noticed that. Yeah.
Okay. Are they black? No, they're not. Do they want to be black? No, they don't. All right. I listen to rap music. Or hip hop? Does that make me black? I listen to heavy metal. I listen to punk. Does that make me want to be white? I listen to. I like Spanish food. I like eating Spanish food. I like bachata music. Does that make me want to be Hispanic? No, it doesn't, you fucking blithering dipshit. All right? What it really makes you is fucking ignorant. The last time I checked, we don't live in 1817, or 1917 for that matter. It's 2017. Now, the reality of it is that if you want to look at it that way, well, motherfucker, you fucking have tattoos on your body of Asian symbols. Maybe it should say, I take it up the ass or something, or I'm a fucking asshole. All right? And secondly, all right, I'm so sick and tired of shit with people amongst races, amongst nationalities and ethnicities. Okay? You know what? It's like, what bothers me is that, so if I listen to rap music, or I say, hey, what's up? That basically makes me black, right? But then I see brothers in Harlem fucking watching Kung Fu movies, and you know what they're classified as? They're not classified as, oh, I want to be Chinese, or I want to be Asian. They're basically brothers from Harlem watching Kung Fu movies. Now, what the fuck kind of contradiction is that? So basically, what bothers me is that it basically is saying that, well, I am a wannabe if I like something of your culture, but if you like something of my culture, that's acceptable and that's justifiable? No, fuck that. Fuck that. All right? And you know what? I'm putting fucking and you know what, Jeremy Lin? I understand, and you should take blame for this too. I understand you're a Christian fellow. I understand that you are God-fearing and that you want to set a positive role model and that you want to be formal, all right, and you want to produce a good name. But you know what? How much more are you going to take of this? From the second you stepped into people, and in Harvard, when he stepped onto the basketball court, people start saying stereotypical racist shit to him. At what point are you basically going to stand up for yourself and say, hey, you know what, Kenyon Martin? Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. All right? But no, you're sitting down there and you're allowing them to take it, saying, oh, well, it's cultural awareness and cultural exchange, and we're just trying to set a good role model and a good example. You know what? Asians have been taking shit for the last 150 to 200 years. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm waiting for somebody to step up and just say, you know what? Go to fucking hell. I'll do what I want to do, and if you don't like it, do something about it. All right? Thank God there are people like Eddie Huang out there, myself, fucking MC Jin, and people out there to stand up. And look, and granted, and I'm not targeting this against African Americans. I'm targeting this to anybody. All right? This is 2017. We don't live in fucking, like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago. This is a world in which we basically will look upon each other. We should look upon each other as equals and accept people for who they are and what their opinions are. Okay? I'm tired of this shit that you want to be this and you want to be that. You know what? You know what you want to be? You're making yourself, you know what you want to be, Kenyon Martin? Well, before I even say this, Larry, you have a take on it?
I have a huge take on it, but it's not just this whole, don't like what I like or like what I don't like, whatever it is. That this is everything, race, politics, everything, and it's our society now. Our society, just as much as a lot of people may want to preach equality, a lot of people who preach don't follow that. And I'm not talking about blatant, like, go out and spray paint something on a wall that's racist or anything. I'm just talking about, like, hey, I'm allowed to like A, but you're not allowed to like A because you like B. There's double standards. That's what it is. There is a ton of double standards nowadays. And you just see it run rampant everywhere. It makes me fear for the future. I truly fear for the future.
Future sometimes looks kind of grim, huh?
It does on my end. It's people who bring, children into this world. Sometimes it's like, why do you even want to bother?
Yeah, I mean, look, and again, if Kenyon Martin was anything, I don't care what race he is, I don't care what nationality he is. basic ethnicity that he is. It's just that I'm so sick and tired of people saying that, well, if I like something, well, then that's okay. But if you like what I like, then you're a wannabe. You know, enough of this. It like really, you know, like when I grew up, I think I've mentioned this in the last couple of podcasts. When I grew up, there were no Asian role models. We didn't have anybody on this earth but Bruce Lee.
You mentioned it on the first show.
Exactly. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Am I supposed, and I did not really have a whole lot of a connection or affinity to being Asian because it was never taught in my household, with the exception of the food and the way that we spoke. I didn't know a lot about my culture. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of the fact that I'm of Chinese descent and I'm of Trinidadian descent. Mm-hmm. But make no mistake about it, I am 100% American. All right, but above all else, even above that, I'm 100% human being, just like you are, just like everyone else is. And it's time that we stopped. We stood up and basically said, hey, you know what? This world is tough as it is. Let's just unite and let's just basically, settle some differences and be the change that we want to see in the world. That's what I ultimately want to see.
Amen, brother.
And the reality of it is, it's people like Kenyon Martin who made a comment like that, and then all of a sudden, that makes this world fucked up. And you know what? Later on, he says, "Oh well, I'm only joking." Then he deleted that comment or that post.
Oh, did he?
And he says, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Oh well, man, he could do whatever he wants, and that's really, he's chill, he's cool." No. You know what? I'm going to say what Jeremy Lin should have said and wants to say. Fuck you. All right? Because I'm sick and tired of this shit, and enough is enough already, God damn it. All right? Don't tell me you don't mean it, because you do. And if you didn't mean it, to be quite honest with you, then you shouldn't have said it, right? I mean, it's like that's like if I walked down the street and randomly punched some dude in the face, all right, and said, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
My bad."
No, yeah, exactly. You knew what the hell you were doing. All right. That's just like if I went and I punched you in the face, once a day for 30 days. Do you honestly think that on the 31st day I'm not going to hit you? Of course not. You'd be stupid to think not otherwise. Right. So it bothers me that these divisive statements are basically making its way towards, towards poor Mr. Lin. But at the same time, Mr. Lin needs to be responsible for his own actions and stand up and be a man and basically say, hey, leave me the fuck alone. All right? But no, he wants to be a role model and he wants to be this nice guy who's a representative. Well, you know what? Sometimes there are certain instances where people who are bullies like that need to be silenced. They need to be humbled. They need to be taught a lesson of humility. It's like, God. So you know what? With that said, on that note, you know what happens, Mr. Martin? When people like you try to actually divide the world, and hurt the world instead of making it a better place so that we can all appreciate things of all different cultures and values and opinions and ideas. You know what happens, huh, Mr. Martin?
Here we go.
You know what happens?
Get ready.
Kenyon Martin.
What?
And Jeremy Lin.
Oh!
For basically not saying how you feel and basically standing up for yourself. You both just been chewed out.
Wow, a double chewed out, which out of nowhere. I thought this was a thumbs up, thumbs down. I didn't realize we went into chewed out. Woo, you were passionate.
Down. 2 thumbs down for 2 fucking people. How's that?
Wow.
And I love you, Jeremy, but and thank you for being a role model in a way that, to basically say, hey, you know what? You could be intelligent. You can go to Harvard, but you can also play sports and you can break stereotypes too. But come on. Enough is enough, man. And I'll take you off the list if you basically just stand up for yourself and tell them off and say how you feel and what's right. Sometimes there's a time for diplomacy and there's a time for action. And I think in this particular case, diplomacy is dead.
Okay, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Fuck.
Ha. There you go, folks. You're double chewed out for the first time ever in Yin and Yang podcast history.
Now, as I calm myself down and I take a nice swig of this very good lemon water that I'm drinking here.
Serenity, serenity. In with the good, out with the bad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You ever see like that? Like, I used to watch. This is weird, but kind of to get off topic, to calm you down a little bit. Sometimes I watch these videos on YouTube, like these like holistic healing videos.
Hmm?
Now, look, me personally, I don't believe in holistic healing. I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying that's me personally. I don't really believe in it. But to see like the motions of how some of this goes through, of like, I forgot what it was called, but like the person never touches you. They're pulling out the bad aura or something like out of you. It's very weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like spiritual healing.
I mean, I don't.
But
look, I'm not saying I don't believe in it. Go ahead, man.
like, I watch it and I get almost in a trance just watching it. Not because I believe what's happening. Again, that's me. I'm not knocking it. But like, I get into a trance just watching like this holistic healing sometimes. Like, they're putting stones on people and everything. It's sometimes, again, and some of these people are weird. That I'll say, because some of these people just are weird.
Yeah, I find that kind of odd, man. Like, I mean, I really, don't try to dive into too much of this stuff because I really don't know exactly how that works. And I be honest with you, I really don't know how it works. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know anything about it and I don't want to know anything about it, man. I'd rather just stick to my, 50-minute therapeutic massages,
There you go.
every month, and going to the spa and getting, just getting some pampering, man.
Good man.
I don't believe in somebody invisibly pulling me something. I don't know, man. I don't know how it works, so I'm not saying a word,
Okay.
So, I mean, but yeah. Oh, speaking of healing. Can you please explain to me earlier in the podcast this whole thing about how Diamond Dallas Page struck the living fucking fear in you? You got to explain this one to me. And first of all, I got to know what it's like to meet DDP. And I'll tell you, my experience is probably very different from yours because back in there's the picture of him holding the belt upside down. And it says, do your DDP yoga or else. Bang. Nice. Bro, okay, before you say anything, I'm going to tell you my experience of meeting DDP, okay?
Okay.
So, 2013, I went to the Meadowlands Exposition Center in New Jersey, in Secaucus, New Jersey, and I went with a former friend of mine who is no longer my friend anymore, and I'll save that for another podcast on a different day. And pretty much what it came down to was it was DDP and Jake. And pretty much I met Jake, and Jake really, really did not look like he was very happy to be there. Maybe he didn't have coffee that morning. I have no idea. But, I met Jake when I was a kid, and I was going to say to him, I was going to bring him a picture to show him that I met him as a kid when he looked drunk as hell. I think I went with Rippo, actually.
Okay.
So when I was about like 11 or 12 years old, and I took my brother with me. So what happened was DDP comes out, and DDP, at least in my view of things, is quite arrogant. But, he exudes a bit of confidence, a lot of confidence, in fact. But, he has this, yo, bro, it's me, it's DDP. Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
And he says, hey, listen, bros, I know that you're online to come see me and the Snake Man, but I got to be honest with you, I got to go to FanFest. See you later. He goes to WWE Fan Access. I got to go later, guys. I'll be back in an hour or two. He just fucking bolts out of there. I didn't even get to say hi to him, nothing. And I bought the DDP yoga system at that point.
Yeah.
But kind of like you, I put it on the shelf because I didn't really use it for a while. But hey, it's whatever, man. I mean, I use it every day now. By the way, those workouts have gotten better and better. So
I told him about you.
You did?
Yeah.
You lying bastard.
I did. I'm like, a friend of mine does DDP yoga, has lost a lot of weight from it. And he was like, oh, man, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I never got to meet DDP myself, except for him saying what he said,
Yeah.
like about 2 feet in front of me. But
Yeah, he gets
so
close.
What was it like, man? Like, what was?
So I get online. It was an autograph signing at Comic-Con. So I'm online like a half hour, and then I get to DDP. He's talking to people in front of me. So I'm talking to I don't know if it was his wife or his manager or something, the person handling his money. So I give the money. I want an autograph and a photo op.
Was it like a brown-haired lady?
Yeah. Yeah.
In her 50s?
Yeah. I would say.
That's his wife.
Okay.
I think that's his wife, yeah.
I think so, too. So I get up to him. I'm next, and I'm talking to the woman, and I tell her, I go, yeah, I just bought the DDP yoga set. So I'm like, she's like, oh, awesome, very cool. So she gives me a little bumper sticker here, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
a little DDP yoga bumper sticker.
You should have gotten one for me.
And you know what?
Son of a bitch.
Oh, no,
you didn't get
extra. No, they didn't give me two.
Shit.
So, yeah, so I tell her that. It's like, oh, cool. So she's like, all right, so with the photo op, what you do is, because DDP had his WCW championship with him. Like his title. So she goes, when you go to take the picture with Paige, line up, like she was very specific. Be on his left, belt on your left shoulder. I was like, okay, very specific. Left of Paige, belt on my shoulder, on my left shoulder. Good, I'm a lefty, I can easily remember that. So I go up to him, I'm next, like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, doing good. I shake his hand. The man is 6'5", 6'6". I felt like he was about 8 feet tall in front of me. He is a huge man. And I'm 5'10". So the lady's like, his wife is like, yeah, he just bought the program. He's like, oh, that's great, that's great. And I told him, like, you know what? I'm really looking forward to starting it. A friend of mine has been doing it for a while now, lost a lot of weight on it. He's like, oh, that's cool. And I told him, like, the hardest thing for me to do is, like, the regimen and eating. Like, I eat poorly, which I do. There's tons of fast food on the way home that I just easily stop off at. And I told him, like I don't want to do that. So that's when, like, he pulled me to the side, and for, like, the next 10 minutes, like, and no joke, he's, like, 3 inches from my face, like, talking to me, and he's being motivational. He's like, you gotta do the program, man. He's like, what'd he say to me? He's like, none of this, like, from today forward, it's no more, I want to, I don't want to, it's now, I won't, and I won't. He's like, you gotta fucking do it. You gotta fucking own it. And like, he's using my name. He's like, Larry, you got to do this, man.
Fucking shit.
And at the same time, he's promoting his app at the same time. So he's like, you get the first 3 months free, and then Motivational Monday. He's like, you got to do it, man, do it. And now he signed my autograph. He added that do DDP yoga or else after the fact. Like, he added it on when I was done talking to him. But, I mean, I was standing there like, I'm afraid he's going to track me down to make sure I'm doing this program.
Well, you should be on the DDP Yoga app. Dude, I'm on that app, and literally I've gotten like 4 to 5 recipes. I mean, off his app.
It was nuts. Just, he was so, his energy, like, I felt his energy.
Wow.
It was just wild.
That's awesome, bro.
So we do that, and then the photo was great because it was the legit WCW champion. When I picked it up, that thing had to have been like 20 pounds.
Oh, wow.
It was beat up, so I got to hold the belt. We did the diamond cutter sign. And he was just cool because I felt like he was sincere. Look, I get it. He talks to everyone. He talks to millions of people. I'm just a blip on his radar. I understand that. I don't take any disrespect on that. But for that few minutes that he was talking to me, I felt like it was just me and him in that convention center. No one else.
Wow.
It was wild.
You gotta fucking do it, bro.
Oh, man. And then he said the easiest opponent he ever had, the joke of opponent he ever fought against was Johnny B. Bad.
He did not say that.
You
leave my man Mark Merrow alone.
He did not say that. But he was very cool. DDP was awesome. Holding the WCW Championship belt was awesome. DDP, man, he was just all Diamond Dallas Page.
That was the real championship?
Oh yeah, easily. It was
How do
not
you know that?
You can tell when you pick it up. You can tell when you hold it.
Wow.
It's definitely got beat up. It's got wear and tear on it, and it's heavier than my replicas. You've held my replicas.
Yeah, well, when I met Mark Merrow, he let me hold the Intercontinental and the TV title, and they were both made from figures.
Okay.
And it was very light, so you knew it wasn't the real thing. But it was pretty awesome to hold the WCW TV title. That was pretty cool.
No, yeah. That's cool. That was actually my favorite title. I don't know why. TV title, I love WCW. And I told Paige, I'm like, DDP, like, you were the reason why I watched WCW, which he was. He's like my favorite he's my number one WCW original.
You know, it's like, you look at his work ethic, and here's a guy who literally came from nothing and told everybody he wanted to be a professional wrestler at 35. I mean, me going to wrestling school at 30, at 25 years old and 30 years old, going to Kill Kowalski's and Mikey Whipwreck's respectively, people looked at me, you're 30 years old, you're old, get the fuck out of here, you know, no way, you're not going to survive camp. And I did, you know, and I graduated from it. But then the thing about it is that, you know, like, things just didn't pan out or whatnot, right? And, you know, that was that or whatnot. And at the same time, man, let me just say this. You know, you look at his work ethic. At 35 years old, he becomes a professional wrestler. At 42 years old, he wins the heavyweight championship of the world 3 times. So it's like, you know, you can never, ever doubt. I mean, you know what I find, bro? I find that people in this world, it seems though it's like genetically embedded in our DNA to basically be negative first when they hear the impossible. It's like if I said to you, hey man, I want to become an entrepreneur and I want to own my own martial arts school, or I want to learn a different style of martial arts or something. Or if you said to me, well, like, I want one day this podcasting network of mine to become huge and I want to make money off of it, and right? And it seems though that it's almost like they're programmed to say, no, you can't do it. You will never get anywhere. You can't do this. You'll never achieve that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? You know, well, you got to wonder what the fuck are people on? Because it's like very few people out there have the mindset to say, yes, you can do it. Yes, you can become champion at 42 years old and be on top of the world. You know, yes, you can own your own network and blow it up someday. And yes, that, you know, you can take up a new style of the arts if you want and open up a school. It feels like the majority of people out there pretty much are programmed to say no. You know, and I think that a lot of the reasons why people feel this way is because they can't do it. So because they can't do it and they can never achieve their dreams or whatnot, they want to be very unmotivational to people. And it does human beings a disservice, especially to the young people. You know, I mean, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. There's no other way. You know, there's just no other way. Because if you didn't have to work for it, like if I had to work on changing myself and losing the weight that I did and getting into better shape and making a happier me, if it was so easy, everybody would be in shape.
Absolutely.
Why would we even have to put work into it? You know, you go to Retro, you bust your ass, you see people that are better than you, and you see people that are worse off than you. You know?
I've seen at Retro Fitness, I've seen a woman, and I'm not even joking, has to be in her mid to late 80s. Mid to late 80s on a treadmill. Now, don't get me wrong. She's going like 1 mile an hour. She's got it looks like she has her church clothes on. But she's there. She's doing. Her husband is just sitting right next to the machine, just waiting for her to be done. But she, God help her, God bless her, excuse me, she's doing it. And she's doing it to make herself feel better at that age. Meanwhile, I'm there, like, thinking about, oh, why am I here? I'm huffing and puffing. I want to go across the street to the Texas barbecue joint. And then I look at this woman, I'm like, God, if she's doing it, I could do it.
Texas barbecue joint?
Across the street from the Retro Fitness is a Texas barbecue restaurant.
Texas Roadhouse?
Yes. Yes, Texas Roadhouse, yes.
Oh, that place is good.
Yes, and it's very unfair that it's across the street from the gym.
But eat that shit. That's just like fucking when you have, like when they open up a McDonald's and next door to it is the emergency room. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or like fucking. I remember when I was living in Massachusetts, right? They used to be this huge mall, like one of those outdoor strip malls.
Yeah.
And you'd have a workout place, like a Gold's Gym, and right next to the Gold's Gym on the left is a fucking Burger King, and to the right is pretty much a KFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? That's really nice. And there's no health food around the vicinity of that area at all within the Gold's Gym. Go figure that.
Huh. That's weird,
right?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, but getting back to what I was saying, man, you know, you got to believe in you. You know, and DDP's work ethic is just unbelievable, man. It really is. And that's like a huge prime example. I told you that I've been eating right and working out, man. And I've actually gone down in weight. I've dropped 4 pounds.
Good.
Within the last 2 weeks. And I feel good. You know, I'm not starving. I eat every 3 hours. And we'll do a whole – you know what, man? Next week, we'll do a whole segment, and I'll take everybody through a typical day of how I feel in my body. How's that? We're going to make it a priority. Just write that down for me if you can.
All right.
And we'll definitely put that together next week. And to give you guys an interesting day of how I eat. You know what I mean? So we'll do that. So we're down the home stretch, guys, and there's one last order of business that I want to take care of on the show, because as much as I'm being professional and I'm telling everybody that you're my best friend, and you're one of my closest childhood friends.
And I'm your employer.
To a point. You pretty much, you Kevin Owens me, pretty much.
What are you talking about?
You pulled a Kevin Owens on me last week on this other podcast, and the guy doesn't want. Look, why don't we just do this, folks? I'll say this one time. And last week, by the way, on your network, as I said, your network pretty much covers the main basis of everything that a guy wants: video games, sports, fitness, motivation, martial arts, and women. What more does a man want except for food and cars? I mean, other than that, that would be the complete set, right? But last week, there was something that was said, and I do listen to your other shows because, we're all amongst quote-unquote friends here, and I'm putting up the 2 air quotes on my left and right. But something that was said on your other show that really bothered me.
And which show is this?
Oh, I'm not going to plug that show, and you'll find out why, folks. Larry, do me a favor. Have one of your interns play that clip for me. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Play the clip. Again, my dating life, I'm busy. I got a lot of things happening.
You have a podcasting network.
I do. I have 4 shows now.
Wowzers.
Well, 3.5, because I consider myself a co-host of one of them. So
this one?
No, I'm equally a host on this one.
Oh, the co-host of
my newest show, the Yin and The Yang.
You cannot plug his show on my podcast.
I will be plugging everyone's show.
You not plug. No. Do you
plug
your
podcast?
I meant our. Do you plug our podcast on the Yin and the Yang?
I think he did. Yes,
because he hates it.
He doesn't say he hates it.
What did he say?
He said
this is okay. Our mutual friend. I won't say his name is Anthony. His last name rhymes with Rue, and it could be Chew. You can cut that out if you want.
No, he uses his name on his show.
Okay, so he's the co-host of the Yin and the Yang podcast.
He's the host.
Oh, he's the host. Basically stole my idea of ranting, which was my idea, and I'm sure you mentioned it to him one time. I'm not going to say that he stole my idea, but he stole my idea of being a complete ranting lunatic, and that's fine.
I keep forgetting that you came up with that.
I did come up with it, and now he's gonna use that. Oh no! I have copyright infringement lawsuit waiting for him. You think Huey Lewis made money off Ghostbusters? Wait, Chu Yang. Is he the yin or the yang?
He's the yin. I'm the yang.
Whatever.
One cannot
yin,
survive without the other.
Okay, well, Chu Yin, I'm coming for you. And I want to know why you blocked me. Yeah, I want to know. Years ago, you blocked me on Facebook. I'm like, where? I can't find Chu. You ate in my apartment. We broke bread together. Okay? We talked philosophy at parties.
He does get deep sometimes.
Yes. I work with one of your friends. I do. I work with one of his friends.
Really?
He knows Anthony.
He knows this.
Okay.
Everybody. He knows
and
everybody.
This is how you treat me. You block me, and then you criticize the better half. Because soon the name of the show is going to be The Best Half. Okay? Larry and I have no chemistry? How dare you, sir? I challenge you to a white-gloved duel.
A pot off.
A pot off.
Copyright more of the same, 2017.
Chu, I love you. Just don't be a jerk. And give me credit for my idea that you stole. You stole from me. You stole fizzy lifting drinks.
Okay, well, there's the clip.
All right. Well, listen, folks. Really, fucking seriously. All right, here's the thing, okay? I doubt that Frank's listening to this shit because you know something, Frank. You only promote everybody else, but you don't promote anybody, only yourself. Okay, you only promote the guy that you look in the mirror every morning. And if I look like a Ralph Cramden for the U.S. Postal Service, I would fucking be a little. I would wonder what my other half is too. And apparently your half is called Larry Mormon here. So you know what? And don't sit back with a smirk on your face because I'm a little mad at you too, my friend. Okay.
Me?
Now, yes, I am mad at you because you opened your mouth and that was the wrong time to plug the show because Lord knows, okay. The first thing he does is don't plug it. This is my impression of Frank. Don't plug him on my show. Don't plug his show on my show. All right. Yeah. First of all, buddy, the name of the show is Yin and Yang. The Yin and the Yang. It's not Ying, okay? Ying is a fucking eagle in Chinese. It's Yin and Yang. Get that right. Secondly, don't plug my show. Listen, yes, I realize I'm the upstart. I realize that I'm the guy who needs the plugs, who needs the numbers, who needs the listeners, who needs the downloads. Yeah, I get that. I look at your show. I'm not envious, and I realize that you have your show at one point, I think episode 7 or 8, had nearly 115 listeners. And by the way, I'm one of those 115. I listen to every episode of The Better Half, all right? And then from episode 1 on my own show to this one, I plugged your show. With the exception of 3 and 4, the only reason why I didn't plug it is because you didn't give me a plug, and that's your fucking fault, Larry. All right? So don't tell me. All right, don't look at. Don't give me this look of.
I mentioned the show, and I said
really?
I said this show, the Yin and the Yang, is your show. Where you heard Frank say, "Don't promote his show on my show." The better half is mine and Frank's.
This is where you need to put your foot down and you need to tell him, listen. We're co-hosts. It's my network. If you don't want to be on my network, I'm plugging my network, all right? And I'm going to do it the way I want to. And if you don't like it, well, find a new co-host of The Better Half. I don't know how married men you know, but that's a different story.
I need my shows. I need my network to survive with each other.
Have Yari do it.
He's
married.
Nobody needs to. Oh, okay. I need the camaraderie with all of my shows. I am running a conglomerate. Listen, this is not the Miztourage, okay? As far as I'm concerned, all right, the way that I look at it is I'm doing my thing, I'm working my magic, and then all of a sudden I had to go into episode 10 last week, and at the 20-minute 47 mark, I hear him cutting a promo on me for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Frank, that was 2 minutes and 17 seconds of my life I can't get back. All right? And the reality was, oh, yeah, and he made such a big fuss about this whole Facebook block. Let me explain something to you. A few years ago, when you blocked first of all, I blocked you on Facebook for one particular reason.
You said something very hurtful to me, all right, that had a little bit to do with race. You had a little something to do with some post that you put up, and I just gave you a simple comment, and you went off on a deep tangent over something that was totally unnecessary. I need to take that on my own page. I need to have people read that and then produce a negative image about me? No, that's not going to happen. Okay? Thirdly, you're ranting, this whole ranting thing like a ranting lunatic, blah, 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 all right? It doesn't come from you. This is basically influenced. It's not an original idea, Frank. This is a rant idea that originated from the Jim Cornette segment of Monday Night Raw called My Opinion, where he basically gets a forum for about 5 or 6 minutes, and he basically goes on a forum rant about whatever topic it is of that week, right? It also goes back to people like Morton Downey Jr., who basically had rants on their shows too. So it's not your idea. And what if Morton Downey Jr. can come back from the dead and say that you stole his idea? How about that? Maybe Jim Cornette should come on this show and say that you stole his idea. How about that? Did we break bread together? Oh, yeah, we did. We spoke philosophy, all right? Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. There's nothing wrong. I mean, you say that you knew one of my cohorts from back in the day. Well, Ellery is probably either in rehab or recovering from alcoholism, all right, or having to work with you, and I would be too. Or he was probably thinking about jumping off a bridge at some point. I hope Ellery's all right, but you know what? And then you want to challenge me to a white-gloved duel? I don't even know what the... Oh, listen, do you know what a pot off is? Because
absolutely not. I have to come up...
How could you trademark something that you have no clue of what it is? You mentioned on that show, what is a pot off?
I have to come up with what a pot off is. I don't know. I just wanted one day for all the shows to come together.
Right. You want to come after me, Frank, and then all of a sudden I wrote on your Facebook page, I refriended you, okay, and you said, oh my God, Christmas miracle, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is a miracle. It's a miracle that I made the decision of refriending you, all right, and then all of a sudden you tell me now that you have absolutely no clue of what you said? What were you, drunk fucking, talking about that segment? I listened to your show. You know what, and to quote Kid Rock, and I'm going to modify it for this podcast, and it goes like this. Yeah, I've listened to your podcast, jumping around on stage like a bunch of wounded ducks. When are you going to learn, sucker? You just can't fuck with. All right? Yeah, and that's exactly what it is, because you don't believe in anything that he says, even if his tongue was notarized. All right? And the truth is that, you say to me you want to challenge me to a duel. I'll tell you what, Frank. All right? You want to challenge me to a duel. You want to have an interpromotional war that Larry instigated.
I didn't instigate anything. I'm stuck in the middle.
You know what, folks? Definitely email me on yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com this week, because I may be looking for a new co-host next week. All right?
Wow.
Because you instigated. This is going to be worse than the Monday Night Wars. It's going to be worse than McGregor McFucker versus shit weather.
This is bigger than Watergate.
This is going to be bigger than Watergate, Torchgate, fucking anything else you could think of. All right. Here's the thing, Frank. You want to debate me? You want to get me on a pot off, whatever the living hell that is? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have a special exclusive, and we'll make it downloadable. And the fans are going to pay $1 per download. All right, and I will generate money off this bitch. All right? You want to come for me? Make sure you know what you're talking about, my friend, before you do so. Because as far as I'm concerned, my show will eventually kick your show's ass as soon as I get enough listeners. But it will. All right? Just so make sure you know what you're saying and what you're getting yourself into. I've listened to that show, and it sounds like an hour slapstick comedy hour. All right?
Okay, wait a minute. I'm on that show.
Yeah, well, and all you do is pretty much laugh 90% of the time at these impressions that he's making. It's like the Smothered Brothers comedy hour.
I like his Harry Carey. I can't help it.
I'm sure you do. That I'm sure that's really funny. You look like you're laughing about it now. So you know what, Frank? Let's make some money off of this. All right? let's do a pot off. Whatever the hell that is, and then let's have it $1 a download on iTunes or whatever the hell, wherever the hell you guys get your podcasts from, and I will donate the money to charity. How's that?
Well, more of the same network gets 40 cents on the dollar for every download. So we're going to have to talk.
Then, well, whatever profits we make, we're going to basically do whatever it is. More the same gets like what, 40 cents?
On the
we'll
dollar.
give you 40% on the dollar, and then we'll take that other money and we'll donate it to the charity of our three choosings. How's that? I will debate you anytime, Frank. All right? You want to call me and then tell me that you forgot? All right? You want to channel yourself 60 years from now? Go ahead. All right? But for now, I'm going to tell you, I do my thing. You do your thing. Let's leave it alone just like that. All right? So I'm sure you're going to hear the show on Thursday when it drops on the More the Same network, right? The Yin and the Yang, episode 4. And when you do, if you were smart, leave me alone. Because if not, we will have an interpromotional podcasting war. All right? It's as simple as that. Now, keep in mind, you fired the first shot. And by the way, folks, once again, I may be looking for a new co-host next week, so email me with your qualifications.
I didn't do a thing. I just finally mentioned the podcast on this wonderful podcasting network. And I'm stuck in the middle. It's, this is tough on me. I guess there won't be any yin and yang better half crossover. So
really? All right. Well, you know what? If you want to invite me on your show, Frank, and you want to basically have me say something or whatever, and I invite you to come on to this show, even though I really don't want you to be on the show, but whatever. All right. It doesn't matter. Either way, you know what? Why don't we go on neutral ground and we'll go onto the retro gamers? Okay, the mothership. All right. Why don't we go into the retro gamers and I'll debate you there. We'll give the fans something to listen to.
It's not a spaceship. It's the A show.
I said mothership.
Okay.
You're the flagship show.
Yes, the flagship. There we go.
All right.
I'm in trouble, folks.
Listen, Frank, why don't we let's get on the flagship show, all right, the Retro Gamers, and I'll debate you there. How's that? Does that answer all the questions for you? Does that basically clarify everything? Leave me alone, Frank. I'm telling you. All right? I love you too, brother, but you know what? We're friends and all that stuff, and I'm cool with you, but look, but you do your magic and I do mine.
I've blocked him a few times as well, so...
Oh, well, that's between you and him. And I think he may be looking for a new co-host next week as well.
Why? What? It's my network, damn it.
I think after this, we both will commit Harry Carey.
I'm kind of sorry I signed you to an ironclad contract.
Well, not my problem.
Anyway. It certainly is mine now.
You've depleted the resources. You got me all worked up, riled up now. All right. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it's time for the folks to basically call it a day. But before we do, I just want to let you know some upcoming dates for for what I call the I Should Have Quit While My Monkey Was Still Funky tour. So I don't know about you, but I am going to be at the both of us are going to be at Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey on October 28th and the 29th. I'll be there on the 29th only. You'll be there on the 28th and the 29th. We're going to walk around, get autographs. Definitely want to meet a few people.
Yeah.
So Chiller Theater is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. Tony Danza. Hey, Mona.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not going to meet Tony Danza, but that's up to you. Because, Who's the Boss was actually already a horror show as it is. The only thing that was good about that show was somebody called Melissa Milano. But that's a different story. All right. I want to meet Lou Diamond Phillips and the cast of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. So I will also be in Denver, Colorado, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th. for an American Ninja Warrior obstacle course tryout.
Oh, wow.
Yes, your boy is actually going to try out for American Ninja Warrior, but not the. I don't want to do the televised thing. I just want to actually do the real obstacle courses.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, in the event that I may be arrested for, this is just between you and I and the rest of our listeners here. I am totally and completely in love with Megan Martin, who's an American Ninja Warrior. I may actually propose marriage and then be arrested by the authorities. So just have my bail money ready because Lord knows, that woman has my heart. I will take her over any woman on earth right now.
Really? Wow.
And I believe she will be there. Yes. I mean, she will be there. And like I said, I will meet her, propose marriage to her, and may be arrested in the process. So just have my bail money ready, okay? I will also be at the Legends of the Ring on October 21st. I am planning to go, so if you guys see me over there, you'll see me wearing a Shinsuke Nakamura T-shirt. You can't miss me. I'm a guy that looks like the human panda. So, you can't miss me, guys. So I will be walking around, and if you guys listen to the Yin and the Yang, of course you do. Come up to me, talk to me, tell me what's up. And lastly, the last stop on the I Should Have Quit While My Monkey Was Still Funky tour is the Walker Stalker Con in Edison, New Jersey, in the Raritan Center on December 9th and 10th. Will be the last appearance I will make to the open public, representing the More of the Same network in conjunction with Anti-USW Productions. And Walker Stalker Con, if I don't get arrested and taken over by the authorities for stalking when I meet Megan Martin on November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I may, when I meet the entire cast of The Walking Dead and see Rosita there, and propose marriage to her, and I may be arrested by the authorities there.
For polygamy?
So,
yes.
What do you mean polygamy? She's like 28 years old,
Polygamy. Marrying more than one person.
Oh, shit. I think I just kind of I'm sorry. I think I just kind of, I don't know, man. I need another cup of coffee is what I need. You can edit that part out however you see fit, and if you don't edit it out, my bad, guys. It just it's kind of tired. I'm kind of tired right now. It's nearly 11 o'clock at night, and I'm kind of zoning out. But yes, I'm sorry, Megan. I love you. I still will take you and you only, unless Christian Serratos takes me first. But that's a different story, and that's where I'll be. How about you, brother?
The end of December 8th, 9th, and 10th, I will be walking the floor of Ace Comic-Con at NYCB Live, formerly known as the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum out on Uniondale, Long Island, New York. Ace Comic-Con, check it out. Just search Facebook Ace Comic-Con. The crew from the Justice League will be there, along with The Undertaker, and just announced the Bella Twins. And beyond that, I'm kind of going to go backwards here. I got the Jet Patriot game on the 14th of October. And, of course, I got my half-season tickets to the New York Islanders, so I'll be there as well. So if you see me, come say hi. And, of course, remember, you can find me on pretty much each and every social media at MOHR365, MOHR365.
All right, guys, and you can definitely hit us up anytime, any place, anywhere on our email, which is yinandyangpodcast at gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Give us comments, questions, concerns, whatever it may be, marriage proposals, any suggestions for the show. Good or bad, we want to help you guys out in any way we can. So for my tag team partner here, we are the Yin and the Yang, and you can't teach that. Peace.